Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel for another story time. So this story time is going to be about the time I found out that the guy that I was talking to was married. I told this story on my Snapchat before, but I'm going to just tell it on here, so whatever. So I met this guy, we're going to call him Mars. I met him in like December 2016 off this little, it's supposed to be a dating app, but it's really just like it's a hookup app. It's a whore app, as I like to call it, because everybody on there is just a whore and fucks everybody who's on there. So yeah, I met him on there. And how I met him was because it's called Jack, by the way. How I met him was because Jack tells you like who is in like your area, like who's on the app and who's in your area. And one day I was in his area because I was hunching on somebody, but I didn't meet like the boy that I was hunching, I met him in high school. I didn't meet him off the app, but they lived in the same area, either way it go. So he like hit me up, and I was like responding to him, but like I wasn't really like responding to him. I was just respond when I was like bored. And he was like, asking me where like I live and all that, and I'm like, where do you live? And he was like, oh, I live in such and such and such. He was like, I saw you was close to here the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, I was. And he was like, oh, when you gonna be back over here? And I wasn't doing nothing that day, so I'm like, I mean, shit, I can come now. What you mean? And he was like, well, shit, slide. So, bitch, I slid and I ran down on him. So when I first got there, first of all, like where he lives at, like I'm familiar with the area, so like it's the projects, like it's the hood. Like I'm like, oh my god, like he's literally gonna be a hood nigga. Like he's like, wow. So when I got up to his house though, like, and he like let me in or whatever, we were talking and getting to know each other or whatever. And as I was just looking around the house, like I just saw like kid stuff like scattered everywhere. So I'm like, you got kids? And he was like, nah, but the girl that I live with got a jit. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So you and this girl, what are y'all, like friends or something? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, so you believe me to believe that y'all just friends and y'all live in a one bedroom apartment with a jet? And he was like, oh, he was like, we fuck from time to time, but that ain't my jit. Like she got a nigga, like he just in jail. I'm just staying with her till he get out. I was believing every word he said. I'm like, well, I mean, he's just a side nigga, so I can be the side nigga to the side nigga. Like, cause I had just stopped talking to the boy that I was talking to. So I'm like, that's perfect. Like, I don't really want to talk to nobody like that, but I still need consistent dick, and he can give that to me. So I'ma just keep fucking with the dude. So we just, for a while, like for that whole month of December, we was just like, we was fucking, but like we wouldn't just like fuck, like that wouldn't be like the only thing that we did. Like we would actually like talk and do stuff or whatever. So one day he texted me and he was like, no lie, he was like, Josh, I'm starting to like you. Like you real cool. Like I can see this going somewhere. And I was like a fucking dummy. I'm like, I like you too, because I was starting to like him too, I ain't gonna lie, but I just wasn't showing it. But I really was starting to like him. But I'm like, I don't know though, like this just seemed too good to be true. I always feel like that about everybody that I talk to. And then on top of that, I really wasn't feeling the situation that he was telling me about the girl. I'm like, it gotta be more than that. Like I feel like he lying. So I'm like, I don't really want to do this because like I didn't want to be crazy, but this is why I'm glad this is why I do this. I always do a background check on the boys that I talk to just to be sure, like, it ain't nothing that, I gotta find out later on and like, down the line. And I wasn't trying to do that with him, but I was like, I just can't. I gotta see. So when I do my research on social media, because that's where everybody put everything nowadays. So I like looked him up on Instagram. Couldn't find an Instagram account. So then I looked him up on Twitter. Couldn't find a Twitter account. So I was like, let me reactivate my Facebook and then try to find him on Facebook. So I reactivated my Facebook, searched him up or whatever, right? And I still couldn't find him. So I'm like, and the thing was, I couldn't find him on Facebook because I forgot his last name. So I'm like, damn, I'm just sitting there trying to remember it. And I was like, I don't want to ask him what his last name is, and then he'd be like, why? So I'm like, it gotta be another way. Like, I could just search him by his first name on here, because, you know, bitch, you can find somebody on Facebook. That's the first thing you should be able to find somebody on. So I'm like, I wonder if you can search somebody up by their name in the city that they live in. And lo and behold, bitch, you can. So I looked up Mars, and then I put the city that he lived in next to it. So after scrolling like through the first 5 people, y'all, I saw his picture. And I was like, oh my God. Like, my heart started beating so fast, because I just knew I was going to find something I was looking for. I just knew. Like, I just foretold it. I knew. And I'm like, damn, Josh, like, are you sure you want to click on this, or you good? And I was like, nah, bitch, we gonna go ahead and click. We done came this far, so bitch, we gonna find what we looking for. So bitch, I clicked on his profile, right? The first thing I went to was the nigga pictures. So I was going through his pictures or whatever, right? And you know, at first it was like a little nothing, like it was just pictures of him, like by himself, you know, little selfies here and there, you know. But then I saw a picture of him in a tuxedo. And I was like, I hope he just was wearing his best suit to church, because I hope this nigga ain't married. And then I kept going down his pictures. Then I saw a picture of him in a lady in a white dress. And I was like, I pray to God before I go read the comments. Because it was like a lot of comments. But I couldn't see the comments at first until I clicked on it. And I'm like, I pray that this lady is just like his cousin, his sister, or somebody. Like, I hope and pray that they are not married. So I just took a deep breath, started going through the comments, right? Literally every comment. Congratulations, you guys make a beautiful couple, congratulations. And I literally dropped my phone. Like, I was like, what the fuck? This nigga is married. Like, wow. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, I done fucked people boyfriends before, so if that would have just been his girlfriend, that would have been fine. I mean, you still get karma for that, but you know, I would have been fine with that, because you know, in the Bible, it don't say nothing about doing stuff with somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend. But you married, like, that's a whole nother level. Like, that's a commitment to God. And you know, I come from a broken home, and I ain't trying to break one myself, so I'm just like, I was just flabbergasted. Like, what the fuck? I wouldn't tell my friends about the boys that I talked to, because you know, like I said, your friends got friends. But I was like, oh no, I gotta tell my friends about this one, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to react. I don't know how to feel. Like, I need somebody to help me in this situation. So I told like 4 of my friends. And I was like, y'all need to go on his page to see, like, y'all need to see this. So they went on his page, and they was just as flabbergasted as me. They was like, well, damn, Mars is fine, but damn, like, he married. And I was like, I just can't. Like, they was like, Josh, you're literally going to hell. Like, you're a whore. Like, you are a whore, bitch. And I'm like, I didn't fucking know. Like, if I would have known, I would have never even gave the nigga the time of day. Like, I G shit would not have. So they was like, you need to like confront him and ask him, because that's like you said, that's a whole nother level. Like, you need to confront him, because that's just some wild shit. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just ask him what his last name is first. So I text him and I was like, Mars, what's your last name? And he was like, why? And I was like, just what's your last name? So he was like texting me that, but like he kept like trying to change the subject, and I'm like, why won't you tell me your last name? And he was like, why do you want to know? And I was like, because I'm talking to you. Like, bitch, if I'm talking to you, bitch, I need to know your last name. You say you like me and I like you, so bitch, we need to know each other's last name. What's your last name? But he would not tell me his last name for nothing in the world. So, and when he wouldn't tell me his last name, I was just like, I'm just not finna talk to him. I'm not finna know. Like, I don't got time to deal with this married shit. So then, a couple days later, I knew I was gonna be like in that area. So I was like, I'm gonna just go to his house and ask him in person, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like a lot of stuff is better said in person than over the phone or like over a text messages and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna just go to his house. So I had text him and I was like, what you doing? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, oh, your little friend girl, is she there? And he was like, nah, she went to work. He was like, why, you trying to stop by? And I was like, yeah, sure. So he was like, all right, come through. So bitch, I came through. So when I got there, right, I just kept staring at him, and he was like, why you keep looking at me like that? And I was like, nothing. So I was just like looking around, looking for pictures and stuff, but I only saw a picture of the girl and the baby blood, like no pictures of like him with them or nothing. I think he was like taking them down or some shit. So I was like, where your little girlfriend? And he was like, oh, I told you she went to work. And I was like, oh, where her legit at? And he was like in the room sleep. And I was like, oh. I was like, what's the baby name? And he said a different name than what the baby name actually was. Like he was like lying. But the thing was, he was like lying like that. Like he had his lies planned out. Like, bitch, every question I asked, he didn't even think that he didn't even have to think about his lie. Like it just rolled off the tip of his tongue. Like that shit was like scaring me. And I was just looking like, And he was like, yeah, why? And I was like, I just was asking. Someone kept telling me, bitch, ask me if you're married, ask me if you're married. But I could not bring myself to ask him because I was so scared, because he was like, he used to be in a gang and he still was like kind of like affiliated in a way. And I was like, you know, he lives in the hood. This apartment complex don't have no cameras. So if he killed me, like he could just get away with it and I would be a missing person for the rest of my life, because nobody knew where I was at anyway. Nobody knew where I was going. So like nobody would have known where I was at. So he like kept trying to like hunch me, and I'm like, ain't legit in there? And he was like, he sleep. And I was like, he sleep? Like, what you mean? Like, what if the little boy wake up? And he was like, so like the nigga young, he ain't gonna remember. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. Like I have to get out. This nigga just don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. Like this is crazy. And he like kept pushing up on me, and I was like, you know, I really feel like this nigga might kill me, because I feel like he know that I know something. So let me just hunch him and close my eyes and then wait till it's over and then leave. So that's exactly what I did. So I left or whatever, right? And I never looked back. Except for one time, I ain't gonna lie, one time I did go back over there because I planned to ask him again. But then the same thing ended up happening. So I just never, ever since then, I never talked to the nigga ever again. I deleted that app off my phone because niggas on there, they're just so raunchy. I had to go to church and all because I just like, I needed God to forgive me, even though he knew, like I didn't know, but still like, wow, like, that was super duper crazy, like, bro. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what if the girl would have came, like, what if she would have called us? Or what would you have like explained? And then your kids, like, when they grow up, what you gonna tell them when they like ask you why you and mommy got a divorce? Oh, mommy caught daddy with another nigga. Like, how that sound? Like, my G, like, what are you doing? And like, I just can't. She should have did what I did. She should have did a background check, cause baby, it's 2017. You really gotta do a background check on these niggas, because they are so slimy and so sneaky, and they really ain't shit. Like, I really want to know how she know that he was like hard down gay. Like, how did you not know that? Like, y'all need to get y'all some gaydar ladies, because that just was crazy. Like, listen, if you DL, that's fine. But don't be dating females and then, you know, getting married and end up having kids, and then you still hunching on niggas. Like, what? Like, no, you can't do that. You can't fuck around with nobody heart like that, nobody emotions, nobody feelings. Like, because if she would have called us bitch, she probably would have killed us. Like, what? Putting my life in danger. Like, I just can't. That was just a whole abomination. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you wanna, he can do that on his own time, but don't be dragging me and shit like that, bitch. I ain't trying to go to hell for you because you wanna fucking commit adultery with another nigga. Like, no, leave me out of that. Like, that was literally so crazy. Like, I can, like, seriously, that situation scarred me for life. And this is why, like, every nigga that I ever talked to, if you watching this, bitch, yes, I did a background check on YouTube, because like I said, niggas is slimy, and you really gotta watch your back out here in 2017. Bitch, you either play or you get played. Because I mean, and I ain't exclude myself when I say niggas ain't shit, but y'all niggas take it to a whole nother level. Y'all got me beat by far. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have all that. Cause see, nah, that ain't me. I ain't with that, bro. No, y'all can keep that. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe while I still try to wrap my head around this whole situation.